Ladies and gentlemen, for almost 3 weeks last year, nearly all my attention was absorbed by the production of cookies. Virtual cookies in a game called Cookie Clicker. The concept, simple. There's a big cookie on the screen, and you click the cookie, and you get a cookie. And the more you click the cookie, the more cookies you get. And with these cookies, you can buy things that automatically produce more cookies for you every second. And when you have enough cookies, you can buy upgrades for these things so that they produce cookies even faster. The aim of the game, make a lot of cookies so that you can buy all the things and all the upgrades and unlock all the achievements in the game. Now, I know you're probably thinking that it is quite silly and trivial, but that's because it is. It is quite silly and trivial. In fact, it can hardly be considered entertainment. But I'm choosing to talk to you about it today because it was an important part of my life last year. I can tell you with no exaggeration that I was completely obsessed. In the 17 days that I played this game, I clicked that cookie more than 500,000 times. Now, you're probably wondering how I was so compulsed to play this game to the point that I played it more than 500,000 times. Well, I discovered this game in 2013. And last year, when I rediscovered it, and I saw that familiar big chocolate chip cookie, I started clicking. After 15 clicks, I had 15 cookies. And I could buy a mouse cursor that clicked the cookie automatically every 10 seconds. Once I had 100 cookies, I could buy my first grandma, who baked 4 cookies per second. I kept clicking and buying cursors and grandmas until eventually I had enough cookies to buy a cookie farm at 1,100 cookies, harvesting 8 cookies per second. Soon enough, I was making hundreds of cookies per second, and I could buy mines, banks, farms, temples, spaceships, time machines, and antimatter condensers, all producing increasing quantities of cookies. All the while, for each milestone I reached, the game rewarded me with achievements. So, given this description of the game, you might be puzzled and wondering, really, is that what compelled you to play this game? Well, I am no psychologist, but there is something to be said about the milestones and achievements that this game offers. There is a sense of satisfaction in reaching and unlocking an achievement and then striving for the next milestone. There is also a sense of anticipation for the next thing or the next upgrade that you can purchase. In fact, in the early stages of the game, there's even a sense of strategy and planning in deciding which thing or which upgrade is the most cost-effective use of my cookies. It is no wonder then that this game rapidly became an obsession for me. I remember lying in bed at night, reading forums and watching YouTube videos about strategies for maximizing my cookie production. I left my laptop on all day and all night so that it would produce cookies while I slept. And I would wake up in the morning and rush to check how many cookies I had produced overnight. I remember on one occasion while I was away from my laptop, I caught myself making this gesture, clicking on an imaginary cookie as I was walking down a street. Clearly, I was obsessed. Perhaps there is a lesson to be learned from this experience about how setting milestones or goals can help me stay focused. But that is not the goal of today's speech. The point is, I spent hours of my life during this 17 days clicking a virtual cookie more than 500,000 times. The point is, I managed to make 15 septendecillion cookies. That's 15 followed by 54 zeros. The point is, I managed to unlock 496 out of 569 achievements. And that is 87%. I do wish I could tell you that I unlocked 100% of the achievements, but I looked into the numbers, and it is impossible to do that without playing for at least 1 year. Now, let us be honest. If I played this game for 1 year, I would have descended into cookie clicking madness. So in the end, it is a good thing that I did stop. And I stopped one day because despite telling myself that I would wait for the weekend before clicking that cookie, I couldn't help myself. And I ended up clicking that cookie for 2 hours on a Thursday night. And that is when I decided that perhaps it is unhealthy. So I decided to overcome this addiction by typing in a cheat code, which gave me an obscene number of cookies. By cheating, I took away any meaning from the remaining achievements. Not that they had much meaning to begin with. In any case, my cookies were no longer legitimate. And so, for the first time in 17 days, I shut down my laptop. And the next morning when I woke up, I felt free and liberated from my cookie clicking compulsion. Ladies and gentlemen, ultimately, the point of my story is to share that although I did develop a rather pointless obsession, I'm proud of myself for having recognized quite early that it was a compulsive and unhealthy behavior, and I'm happy that I found a clever way to overcome that compulsion. I look back at Cookie Clicker as a reminder that I can overcome my obsessions as long as I can just identify them. Thank you.